Today we have VanN Demand, and on our show we're doing Before the Radio Show. This is gonna be an artist interview and showcase platform, and before the radio show we're gonna be doing interviews for artists. And check them out on Back to the Radio Show. We're gonna be spinning their music live. And today we brought on VanN Demand. We're gonna ask him some questions, see how everything's been going. He's been on the grind. He's a local artist from Pueblo, Colorado, and he's been putting in work. How you doing today, Van?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, bro. How have things been going recently? You still working on music and everything?
Always, man. Yeah, I've been doing the damn thing. I just started a rap group called Out of Pocket, so I'm working on their demo, their debut, excuse me, their debut project. So we're a little over halfway there. So I'm hopefully thinking maybe early next month, mid early next month.
That's fire.
Yeah,
What kind of music is it? Hip hop?
yeah, it's hip hop and rap. Yeah,
Nice. What
yeah.
genre would it fall under hip hop?
Huh?
What genre would it fall under hip hop?
Just it's a little bit of trap, a little bit of street. It's just I just took two gutter guys, artists, and put them together, and we've just been just killing these beats. I've been producing the beats, and yeah, man, really try to do something with them. Try to expand the
Nice.
label, man.
Who's all a part of that group?
It's just us three, so it's me, and then another artist called Q Swagger, and then another artist called Big Perp. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's dope. What do you produce on, bro? That's cool. You said you produce your own beats.
Yeah, I mess with Fruity Loops, so
Nice.
yeah, that's my go-to is Fruity Loops. So
Nice.
yeah.
Um, how long you been making music for?
Oh gosh, seriously, maybe like 7 years, but I've like dabbled in it during high school and stuff. I've always been just a music connoisseur, but it wasn't about 7 years ago when I started taking it seriously.
Nice.
Yeah,
Did you invest in all your own gear and everything right away?
absolutely, absolutely. I went to Guitar Center and shut the place down, boy.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
the biggest part of being an independent artist is for sure having your own setups. You don't always have to go to the studio because studio time can get expensive.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So I figured I just would buy it myself, and there's so many how-to videos on like YouTube and stuff to teach you with whatever program you're using on how to do whatever you're trying to do. Like I'm like, I just figure this out, and yeah, just having the studio in the crib, I'm sure has saved me so many thousands of dollars. But you know, and it's a way for me to practice on myself to make sure that I'm producing good and then my sound sounds good and all that good stuff. So
yeah,
I get
y-
to use myself as a guinea pig, so it's straight.
yeah. Definitely, you're able to have more creative control too with everything.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Come
it's
up with
been a
your
lot
own.
of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I love it, man.
That's tight. Um, what kind of gear do you have you're working with?
So I have like a Samsung CL8 mic, and then I have like a audio box interface, and then some Sony headphones, but I have a massive computer. My computer's super dope. I got four monitors on there, so
That's
yeah,
fire. Sick.
yeah,
You could do the damn thing, editing
exactly. Yeah, editing
videos,
music
everything at the same
videos. Yep,
time.
all that good stuff, bro. I'm doing like 4 or 5 different things at the same time.
That's fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, I seen checked out some of your videos on YouTube. I like the production style behind your old videos is pretty fire.
yeah. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, and all that. It's crazy because all that was shot like on a phone. So I just, you know, that's how good like some of these cell phones are. So
Yeah, that's tight.
yeah.
Yeah, I've shot a lot of videos on phones too. When I
Hmm.
started out, that's what had worked on mainly was just my phone and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you uh did you ever record yourself on your phone and everything practicing before you had actually invested in all your gear?
Nah. By the time I was buying my own equipment, like I've already heard how I sound on records and stuff like that, and I did a lot of freestyling and group freestyling, so I was already prone to like knowing how to rap and knowing how I'm gonna sound and all of that. So I didn't really do any kind of voice notes or whatnot. By the time I was like, oh, I'm about to put some money behind this, like I already knew what was happening. So
Nice.
yeah.
And I noticed you've been dropping them freestyles. You still like
Yeah,
freestyling a lot?
yeah. Uh, that's that's really like my mental stress relief. That's why I've been trying to post one every week. I think I'm gonna do like 10 to 12 and then compile them together and just put it as like a no pen, no pad, no problem, like kind of project, if you will. I want to say not like an album or whatnot, but like, 10 to 12 tracks of just my freestyles, man. I appreciate you, listening for that because, I shouted you out in that last one. So,
Yeah, appreciate the shout out, bro. It's fire.
yeah, man.
You killed that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool idea to do it like that. So
Hmm.
it like puts out pieces of content, and then you're also able to draw them in together to be more of like a project too.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's,
cool.
that's, that's what I was going for. A lot of people didn't know I stopped writing. I stopped writing, like physically writing my lyrics down, like 4 years ago at this point. And yeah, like a lot of people, I want to say like a good handful believed me, like the ones who I'm super close with and know I really do this for real. Like they're like, they believed me, but a lot of people were like, there's no way like you like didn't write that. And so then I started putting videos on YouTube and going live on Facebook where I'm like making songs like off the top of my head right then and there. And since I'm doing it from my phone, my hands are visible, so I don't have a phone in my hand, I don't have a pen, I don't have a pad, and I'm like, like, what could I do with this? Like they'll watch, and then a couple weeks down the line, they'll be like, "Oh, that was the song like you made live. Like I remember that." And I'm like, "Yeah, that was it." So, to kind of solidify, like that I do this, I decided to start dropping weekly freestyles, and I just called it "No Pen, No Pad, No Problem" because it's not an issue if I don't have nothing to write with. I don't need nothing to write with. So yeah, man, it's been catching on, man.
That's crazy. I've worked with a couple artists in the studio before that they've they don't write their lyrics either.
Hmm.
It's been crazy to me because I've never been able to do that. Recently, I've kind of been able to do it in a way because I've
Yeah.
always I've always freestyled too, but I never I always would write it down a little bit or like freestyle it and then try to write it down
Hmm.
and rehearse it more. Uh,
Yeah, it's different, but I feel like when you don't write it, like you can hear more of the like passion and hunger behind whatever your lyrics are at that moment, as opposed to trying to focus on like reading something that you had wrote. And people are good enough to not sound like they're reading something, but I feel like I said, like the hunger and the passion kind of comes out more in your lyrics when you're not reading from something. You're just coming out of, off the brain and you know from the bottom of your heart type stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't like if people that write, like, absolutely um write as much as you can. That's always good. But I don't know, something just clicked in me one day, and yeah, I just was like, maybe I can do it. And at first, I wasn't that good. I'm not even gonna cap. Like, I didn't come out the gate like just being good at not writing. It took some time, but over time, it kind of just comes naturally, and I really get a chance to feel how I feel on these beats, as opposed to trying to pick it and choose whatever the next banger is. Um, when something really sticks out to me, I really get in that mode for what I want to talk about and how I want to rap it, and especially without writing, I feel like it just flows better for me. That's for me. So
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I could see that. You're able to feel it, the passion and everything behind it more.
Exactly. I'm focused on why this beat makes me feel the way that it does. Then, oh, like, what am I gonna rap about? What are my lyrics gonna be? I'm more in tune on, okay, this beat makes me feel this certain way, so I'm gonna get in my bag this certain way, and the lyrics, they'll just come.
Yeah,
So
I could see that also being more of a therapy in a way too, because when you're trying to think more about writing the lyrics, yeah, you dwell on it, but you don't get to put out everything in the way that it is more in the moment each time,
yeah,
which is that's cool.
exactly. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like a one take Drake or whatnot. Like, in the sense of like when I'm making the songs, the freestyles, yeah, I don't change anything. But when it comes to me making the actual songs, like, yeah, like sometimes I've like thought up of some dumb stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna fly, and then I go back and change it. But for the most part, I really get it really just gives me a chance to just feel whatever the beat is making me feel, and then I just come with the bars, man.
It's fire. How do you keep track of all your, or like when you freestyle them? Because I know I've done that before too, especially freestyling in the moment and then trying to remember, like yeah, like you could remember the song, but then trying to remember that song with other songs and trying to organize everything to put it together in a project. Or do you even think of it that way? Do you
Not
think of it more of just in the moment?
Yeah, more of in the moment, and especially when it comes to me like laying down a project, like my last album that came out about 5 months ago called Paid Not Played. Go check that out. That In those kind of situations, I'm listening to these songs over and over and over again to make sure I tweak it to my liking, so the lyrics starts to stick with me like over time. Um, but in the sense, like I said, with like the freestyles, I just go in, and usually what happens is I'll listen to the beat maybe like 2 or 3 times, and then I'll just hit record, and whatever happens after that happens. And so far so good that it hasn't been any kind of catastrophes or whatnot. I've done 4 of those so far, and everyone said they've been flamed. So from an artist standpoint, I appreciate that. I appreciate people listening to me, especially when it comes to those freestyles. But when it comes to like my actual like album, those projects like that, I listen to the songs over and over again. So and especially if I'm trying to pick what my next single is, like I pretty much start remembering the lyrics. So it's it just comes naturally.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And then, so what about a big thing for artists is like being able to put out their music and having a label. They think that you need to have a label to put things together, but really it's just getting your distribution and then having everything in order.
Yeah.
Who do you use for a distributor?
TuneCore, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I use TuneCore. That's what puts all my stuff, on iTunes, Spotify, all the, all those kind of platforms and whatnot. And then YouTube goes and, you know, pulls it and puts it under like the release tab and stuff like that. But yeah, I go through TuneCore, and they haven't steered me wrong. I know a lot of people use like DistroKid and stuff like that, but I've been using TuneCore since I started taking it seriously and was putting my stuff out there like that, and I never had no issues of putting
That's
my stuff out.
that's tight.
Yeah.
Even with releases, you've never had releases kicked back or anything for no weird reason.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Knock on wood. I mean, don't jinx me now, but
Yeah,
five
not
albums
jinxing
later,
you.
man, I've never had an issue. Like
That's tight.
I don't know what else to say. Like they've done me good, and yeah, man.
Yeah, they're one that you could just sign up for by yourself too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like distro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I used DistroKid for distribution.
Mm-hmm.
I just released an album recently called Tony Why Isn't It True. That one, when I was trying to release it, the first time I released it through DistroKid, it like kicked it back for some reason, and
Ooh.
told me I didn't own any of the rights to everything when I did.
Right.
And we didn't do licenses because I work with a local producer, so we don't
Mm-hmm.
really do licenses or anything. But kicked it back. I tried uploading it through like SoundCloud distribution, and then I was gonna try another one, but I decided to go through distro again. And that next time that I did it, I just kind of added more metadata in it and stuff, and like added put my producer's name, and then actually because like it lets you add a little bit more details to each time, so I'd like try to do a little bit more, and it like
Mm-hmm.
actually let it go through that last time.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. It kicked it back. I don't know. It's how they like try to find plagiarism and stuff. I guess is it's all out of whack. But
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't had anything kicked back or anything like that. So yeah, man, I'm glad you got it out there though, for sure.
Yeah, it was ended up working. The shit came out pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Um, like TuneCore, DistroKid, they offer like even like music videos. They'll make like quick visualizers and stuff for you. And then with the Ultimate plan, they give you like label contacts and stuff. Does TuneCore do anything like that?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I haven't looked into that since I set up my account so many years ago. I honestly don't know. Maybe they do
Yeah.
at this point, but at the time I just was like, yeah, I'm just trying to get my music on all these sites or these apps that people are using or whatnot. And Yeah, I gotta look into that because I haven't. That'd be dope to make a visualizer and stuff like that,
Yeah,
man.
that'd be cool if they did.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the platforms started adding more stuff, even just Facebook and everything has different things on it now, or all TikTok and everything
Okay.
to
Yeah, I gotta
edit and
check that
stuff.
out, man. I gotta look into that.
Yeah. Um. So you have a label, right? Level Up Entertainment.
That's right. Yep. Front runner and
Nice.
CEO, man. Like, and it's legit in the sense of like, I paid like the state fees and stuff and got my EIN. That's like tax information for those who aren't aware. But yeah, like it's legit. And I when I got the letter in the mail, I opened it live on camera, like to show that it was like the real deal. And I was just really getting my feet wet, on the business aspect of it. And then this was December 21st of 22, is when like it officially became a thing. That following March, I signed my first artist, Snow Dog, and then maybe like 4 or 5 months later, I signed my second artist, T Royal. But I only signed him for a year. That way, I was just kind of like I said, get my feet wet, and I didn't want to, hold people. So I just did a year, and it went well, man. It went well. They both dropped projects and all that good stuff, and we did shows, and we went to Texas, and went to Wyoming, and all that good stuff. So yeah, it went really well in the sense of me. Trying to get my hands in it. Um, and yeah, now I'm working with this group Out of Pocket, so look out for that.
Yeah, it's dope,
Uh-huh.
bro. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. How did you how do you go about signing artists as an independent label when you
Um,
do?
it's just I mainly go off of really like their passion, their drive. I know, typically, you want to see the high numbers and all of that kind of stuff, and I'm taking it more as like a stepping stool for those who don't know what the next step is professionally when it comes to their music. So, I know a lot of people who can, rap their ass off, but they got 100 songs and it's just on their computer in the bedroom and stuff, and they're not aware of like how to market and the things that you need to do to kind of drive attention to yourself, because there's 100,000 rappers, and just like the same with everyone wants to be an athlete or whatever. You got to really have something that separates you really from the pack, and that's the kind of things that I offer, outside of like recording obviously, and mixing and mastering, providing music videos and editing them. I keep a lot of the stuff in house, and with booking shows and stuff like that, I always try to book them a slot. I mainly just go and tell them all the dates and where I'm gonna perform at, and if they want to perform there, then I'll get them their slot, and we just kind of go from there. But that's mainly what I'm after, is helping artists who don't really know what the next step is, or who don't have a means to record their music, or pay these producers and pay the studio time when I can already offer it because it's right in my house. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that
awesome, bro.
that's
Just
that's that's what I'm looking for. You don't gotta have 100,000 followers or like none of that. Like any of that kind of stuff is gonna come over time, but I want I want artists who have that like that passion, that drive, that determination to want to be heard, and the need to be heard, as opposed to like, yeah, like my stream got 4 million views, like that's cool and all, but like, all right, like, now where do you go from there, as opposed to those artists who are not aware of the business side of it. They just hear beats and just freestyle or write to them, but they don't know what to do with it. That's where I want to come in.
yeah, that's fire. I
Yeah,
see this as just basically setting them up for success.
exactly.
Hence Level Up Entertainment,
Yep,
huh?
exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly like what that's about. And I mean, on a surface level, my emblem's it's a game controller because I'm an avid gamer. I have a bunch of games, a bunch of consoles, but that is the deeper meaning of just where can you go? Where can you take your life from today when it's tomorrow to literally elevate it, like make it better for yourself or for your family, or getting closer to your dreams or whatever the case may be. That really is what Level Up is about.
That's awesome, bro. It's kind of like a little bit of the same idea of what I have with Anyone Can Thrive,
Mm-hmm.
and what I've done with the studio too is I've offered a lot of free studio time to artists too, and then also it's just kind of like on what the artists want to do, because not everybody wants to go forward with doing it forever, or they just want to do it to practice something or see if they can do it even.
Yeah.
That's what's a little hard sometimes, like how far you could push somebody or how far you want to go with them and what they want to do with it. Because
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's crazy to see talent that everybody has, especially people that are unsigned, especially underground artists. Like there's so much talent out here
Mm-hmm.
going around, and there's so much more that we can take advantage of. It's just actually doing it and then wanting to do it and being able to enjoy it. And what's hard about even being able to enjoy it is like that, like you said, if you don't know the ins and outs of it, or you don't have somebody to actually teach you and guide you, it makes it really hard, because you're more of just there thinking of what questions to ask when you don't even know what questions are to ask,
Yeah.
which makes it a little bit harder sometimes.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
especially with strangers, those you got to turn strangers into fans of yours. So you got to figure out a way like how to do that. And that's why I like performing so much too. And don't get me wrong, I call my fans vandals. Don't get me wrong, vandals. When you guys come out to my show and stuff, I really, really appreciate it. But I love performing in front of other artists and people who go to see whoever artist that they went to go see, and then they get to see me and they're like, whoa, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Converting those people. That's that feeling right there is like one of my like that's like my go-to. I love converting people, and it shows especially um like with my merch. It happens like all the time. Like I'll set up like my merch table at the shows, and then like it looks legit and it looks like I'm a rapper and all of that good stuff, and people they'll come and they'll mosey and they'll see the merchandise and they're like this looks cool, but like in their they don't buy nothing maybe at first. Then I get on stage and people are beating me back to the merch table to be like, man, you need to sign this shirt because if something happens, man, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's like my most favorite. That's the best feeling for me is really converting people into and putting them on my music and understanding like why does he sound like that? It's like that's just how I sound. It's like, oh, like you like fast rap, like I'm like one of the fastest, and whatever their niche is. I got a little bit of something for everyone on these projects, and I'm just trying to cater to those who I guess are naysayers and who I guess really don't believe in me, not necessarily believe in me, but like I'm really just trying to solidify my name to be like this guy can rap. Like this boy got some bars, and that's where there's no pen, no pad, no problem. Freestyles come in,
Yeah,
you
to
know.
separate yourself from everybody else, because
Exactly.
yeah, we're all doing this. It's just there's others that are who've been here way longer grinding this shit out, and it's actually we know we do it because we actually love it. There's a passion behind it.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And
yeah,
I'm really into it too because I just sound so different on the records. Like people know like when I'm about to rap or if it's me rapping, I don't sound like anyone. And I mean that in a literal sense. Like my voice is I don't even know like where it came from or whatnot, but I just don't sound like anybody else on these records. And that's really what um draws the attention of a lot of people. And then they'll listen again and then they'll hear what I'm saying and they're like, what? Like how did he think of that? Or, the double and triple entendres and stuff like that. And but then it's just icing on the cake to have a voice that sounds like
yeah,
mine.
super unique.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
it's
really
super unique. Yeah.
a grungy
Hmm.
like rock vibe with
Yeah,
mixed with hip hop.
exactly. And
It's fire.
yeah, people were like what settings or processors or like you use an auto tune on, like I'm like no. And
That's
that's
my
too
voice,
like
bro.
yeah, that's and
Yeah,
that's too why I really be going. I was going live on Facebook for a minute to show people like this is like how I rap. And there's no cuts, there's no edits, I'm live. And people just see really how I literally just get up out the chair and go on the microphone and just do what I do. And they're just like that, like there's no way. And I'm like I'm hands free. Like you see my whole body. Like I'm not. There's no. magic. There's no camera tricks or nothing. Like I went live and y'all see me listen to the beat twice, and I got up out this chair and walked, 2 feet and pressed record on the mic, and that's what happened. This is what I do.
It's funny
Yeah.
that people would ask, yeah, how do you get that sound? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, bro. It's like
Yeah.
that too, especially like how when artists come to for a session or even just try to get in the studio and they think that they could sound like somebody else, but
Mm-hmm.
then they write a song and the song wasn't even practiced
Right.
or practiced to the point to where you're actually able to put it on a record, put it on wax and it actually be what you wanted it to sound like, because it starts with the recording process.
Yeah.
Like, so right when you're gonna get what it means by that is you can record on any microphone. Like if you want to have good quality vocals, yeah, you need to record on a high quality microphone. But then it also comes down to how you want to sound and feel and putting that emotion and being able to project it into the song too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, man, I just that's what I do. I just try to put my best foot forward and really just showcase and just let people know, like, not only myself and not only yourself too, but like Colorado's been slept on in the sense of, really being looked over. Like we should have some like really really big names come from out of here already, and we haven't yet. Like, and I mean on like major,
On a major
yeah,
scale, yeah.
yeah,
Like there's
on a major scale,
yeah.
and like you were saying, there's so much talent out there, and that's why when I said that line in no pad, no pen, no pad, no problem number 4, like something just triggered me, and I was like, I'm gonna just start shouting motherfuckers out, and yeah, that's what I did, and just people that I've either worked with, on a song or like personally, or the ones I've done a bunch of shows with. Like I'm like, I'm gonna shout y'all out because y'all have exceptional talent. Everybody that I shouted out on that song and then some, man, just go check all of those people out. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, for real, y'all gotta check that out. No pen, no pad.
Yeah, no
That
pain,
shit's
no bad,
fire.
no problem. Yeah,
The series is going up.
yeah.
And that's what the first time I met you, you popped up to one of my shows and we were just talking
Mm-hmm.
on online and you straight popped up to a show while I was
Yeah,
performing. That shit was fire.
yeah,
That's how we met.
yeah. That's how I
And
meet a lot of artists that I end up doing stuff with in the future. Is I'll go to, we're on the same bill, and yeah, I see their set, and then they double back and see my set, and then we just link up, and they're just like, yeah, man, you're dope, and they're like, yeah, you're dope too, and that's how features and interviews and all that good stuff just, it happens. The networking, it's always big, people.
yeah,
Network.
it's super huge. That's how you get in doors you can never thought you can get in before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When
Like
they
we're
say it's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah, I take that in a literal sense, bro.
yeah, for real. And like we were talking about just being on stage too, like that's a huge part of it. There's so much to it. Like you can have your art, you can have your merch and everything, but you have to take it to the people and
Exactly.
it's a sales game.
Hmm.
Like you were also saying about being able to put your music in front of other people. It's literally sales. When you're an artist, you're making a sale to the people and you have to find a way to be able to hook them, to reel them and then be able to show them the problem of uh why they would like to listen to your music and then
Yeah.
give them a solution and then you're able
Exactly. Yeah.
to draw them back in to come back and be a customer
Hmm.
with you, and that's how they're able to continually to listen to your music. It's a huge thing. Not everybody thinks about that though.
Yeah. And that's where my thought process has always been expanded like that, and especially when it comes to music, because and it's not even just rap. Like there's so many people who make music or want to make music. It can get really oversaturated, and it's gotten to the point where you know like when they ask like why should I listen to your song, and just to say like because I rap like isn't good enough anymore, especially like nowadays, because whatever music that you're making, I'm sure that potential customer has 50 other people that they know personally that makes that music. So if they really wanted to hear that type of music, they have their own outlet, and they can really support the ones that are close to them. You got to really give them a reason, especially to you spend their hard-earned money on your product and you're a stranger to them.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
why? Like why should I buy your shirt? You know, and that's where you got to really start relating to the people and have songs and do shows that really relate to all these different topics to really touch on an inner feeling with these potential customers. And yeah, just got to win them over because, there's, a million rappers, a million country singers, R&B artists, techno, DJs, whatever. Like you really gotta be interesting enough for someone to be like, you know what? Like, I liked that song. Let me hear another one. Okay, let me hear another one. Okay, let me watch a video. Oh, they just dropped a project? Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah,
listen to their project because now, they're talking about stuff and I can relate to them. If I have a song about, my dog had passed away and, I'm putting it in front of people, all those ones who have had pets that passed away, like they're going to relate to that kind of song and then, they're going to share and it's just like a spider web effect. So, yeah, man, you got to do your due diligence, that's for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then also just building rapport with them
Mhm.
and being able to, yeah, being relatable.
Yeah.
And then just doing it is so huge too, because just from doing it, you're yeah, you can gain experience and watch all the videos and everything. It's awesome, but not until you do it is when you'll actually know what you can improve upon and what you'll all the answers that we were just talking about, getting questions from
Yeah.
different people and being able to know what people want,
Mhm.
and then even just asking them and being open and getting honest feedback and opinions. And it helps so much more with even just the music and the creative side. 'Cause you don't have to take every opinion and output, but there's some that can be straight gold. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people have some great things to say.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's another thing too. Not everything that you're gonna make is, it's just gonna be a banger. And
yeah,
I feel that way even about myself. Not everything that I hop on is gold, but I like to share. What I like to do is, especially if I'm thinking about putting something out, project wise or whatnot. Yeah, I'll share it to the handful of people like in my inner circle. Um, but that can only go so far when you're, surrounded by like a bunch of yes men. You know what I mean? But what I do is I'll show like my inner circle, and then if a majority of them is like, oh, that's flames or whatnot, like I tell them like go show this to somebody like who don't listen to rap like that, or somebody who hasn't heard of me, and then tell me what their actual critique is, and then I think those are the real ones
yeah,
that really help you. Like, oh, like this hook ain't it. Like tell them like the beat is fire, the verses are those are dope, but like he got to change that hook or whatever the case may be. The ones who don't know me personally or aren't put onto my music, or who don't listen to rap like I listen to rap, like those critiques are the ones I really take to heart, and where I figure out if I need to make changes or not. But like the ones that we put something up and then like their response is like it's trash. Like okay, like if that was the case, like tell me why it's trash. Like you know what I mean?
yeah,
Don't just
for
be a
real.
keyboard warrior and be like, man, that's just garbage. Like kill yourself. Like okay, if you actually feel like that, that's your opinion. But tell me why. Like is the beat not good? Like is the mixing not good? Is the lyrics not good? Is the hook not good? Like is my intro bad? Like, tell me what your opinions are, as opposed to just be like, yeah, that's not it, because that don't help. It don't help me or don't help any of the other artists who are sharing their craft, on the internet with their family and friends and complete strangers or whatnot. Like, let them know, like, oh, like you got something, but you should change this or whatever. Like, give constructive criticism. Don't just be like, nah, bro, like you shouldn't rap. You
Yeah,
know, that's just how I feel. So that's usually how I go about it when I'm thinking about releasing something, is just showing my inner circle, and then especially if the majority of them are like, yeah, like this is it, then I say, hey, share this with this person or somebody else, and then let me know when they say it. And if they're like, yeah, I don't listen to rap, but this is actually pretty good, like I'm like, okay, I'll put this out because somebody who don't like rap likes it. Like okay, we got something.
yeah. That's a super cool way to think about it.
Yeah.
That's a it's actually a way better set of opinions to take than from even just the inner circle like you're talking
Yeah.
about, because your inner circle, yeah, you could always ask them, but
Yeah,
they're always
all
gonna.
your homies that ride with you and rock with you, and they've been there from the beginning, and you could never make a bad song. Those that support to a certain degree is good.
Yeah,
But like I said, not every song that an artist is gonna make is
is gonna
necessarily
be,
good. Yeah,
yeah,
and you
or
can
be,
surround yourself with a bunch of yes men, or a bunch of friends that like don't want to disappoint you, or make you feel some type of way or have animosity towards them, because nobody wants to be like, hey, True, like your song ain't it, like I don't like it, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like as an artist, no, we don't want to hear it. Everything we put out we want people to like, but it gets to a certain point where the 4 or 5 6 people that you're always kicking with or talking to, and you're showing them your music, like it gets to a point where they're like, yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. I'm like, well, like how? Like I just showed you 40 songs and they're all good. Okay, I guess we're out of here then. Like, you know what I mean? And that's really what
yeah,
it comes down to. And that's why I'm like, share this with somebody who don't know who I am. Then let me know what they say. And if that person is like who is that? Like, let me hear some more stuff, or that, oh, you know him, like that kind of stuff. Then I'm like, okay, I'm on to something. I got something right here. And that just falls right back into the conversion.
yeah.
Yeah.
That also builds more trust too, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it makes more of a way to where you can get the opinions that you do get from them. You could even use them in different ways,
Yeah.
instead of it just being what it was before,
Yeah.
of it just being, oh yeah, just hyping you up and
Mm-hmm.
trying to just put out more music, put out more music.
Mm-hmm.
And because yeah, I do know what you mean. Like I have a couple songs that aren't my favorite songs, like to this day. Not to say I don't like it, but I wouldn't like to perform it. I have tons
Oh
of other
yeah.
songs that I would rather perform
Oh
or
yeah.
even just show people other than that song.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Do you have any tracks like that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like like a good majority of like my first album, I'm like, I'm never performing any of these songs, and and that's not for me to say like it's not bad, but like from album 1 to album 5 that I just dropped, like you can see the growth, like expeditiously. Like you could tell, like I
Yeah.
went from like you could just see, honestly, just see the growth. And yeah, I really don't perform like the old stuff, but I'm not ashamed of it. Like if you go listen to my first album, go listen to my first album. I'm not gonna take it down. Like that's my craft, that's my heart. I put, hard work, my soul, dedication, my effort, my time, my money, and all that. I absolutely go listen to it, but in the sense of somebody who's like, let me hear some of your music, like I'm gonna play him like more current, up to date stuff, than to be like, yeah, like here's this 5-year-old song, listen to this. When you know who I am and you're messing with the new stuff, absolutely go back and listen to my old catalog. Yeah, I got some bangers on there too. I got some classics, and yeah, I leveled up. There you go.
Fire. Yeah. That's what I like too about actually releasing it and not pushing it to the side. Even just voice notes, that's like been one thing for me, is like I've tried to always just drop everything on SoundCloud. And like I even started labeling them as demo or whatever, just so that you know that it's out there, and then people are able to go back and hear that. For like
Yeah.
what you had just said, like that's the catalog. When you have a fan that actually wants to go back and listen to you and hear your old stuff and
Hmm.
be able to understand like what made you who you were today as an artist and as a person, as a man or woman, whatever,
Yeah.
whoever the artist is in the case scenario. That's
Right.
what it's super cool, and it makes it more powerful. Like when you're able to go that deep, especially when something does happen and you become major, and it's super dope to have all that in the background for people to go back to.
Yeah. I see videos on YouTube all the time of what is it? It's like artists, like their first song versus like their most popular song, and like
Yeah,
a lot of the times it sounds like two totally different people, but yeah, I like listening I like watching those kind of videos. To there was one, like I got into it. They did one on like Post Malone, like he did. They showed his like first song, and I'm like, what the hell? And then they like play like Graduation or whatever, and I'm like, okay, like yeah, or White Iverson or whatever like blew him up, and I'm like, that's like, it's cool to see where artists came from to where they are now, as opposed to just industry plants or some
Yeah.
of that nature.
Or
Yeah,
just faking it until you make it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what separates artists too, is also being able to see them down the road, because not everybody can just take something and run with it and make something of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I'm with you on that.
Tell them to stop crying. Dogs all whining. Quit whining, bud. But yeah, do you have any shows or anything coming up
Yeah,
recently?
my next show is gonna be on October 25th. It's gonna be at Sunshine Studios. The promoter Anti-Famous, shout out to Anti-Famous. He hasn't came up with the name of it yet. But yeah, that's the next show that I'm gonna do is at Sunshine Studios on October 25th. Catch a boy, and I'm gonna debut the group up there too. So yeah, they're gonna
Nice.
perform too. So yeah,
That's
I'm
tight.
gonna make a spectacle out of it. That's for sure.
That's tight. It's gonna be a show then.
Yeah,
Everybody grab tickets for that when it starts
absolutely.
dropping it.
Absolutely, yeah. Go check my Facebook, and I make like YouTube like promo vids. So you got once the tickets are out and they're live to the public, you guys will know. You guys will know for sure. But yeah,
Sick.
this is one you guys don't want to miss.
Sick. How many times have you performed? You performed a lot?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a number. I did a good handful out in California. That's where I'm from. It's from San Diego, California. But then when I got here, yeah, I've done quite a few shows. I performed, at like the Green Light, and of course Sunshine Studios, and Black Sheep, and then some spots up in Denver. But mainly the Springs, if I'm being honest. I usually there's like a few promoters that I've worked with quite a bit of times over the years, so I kind of have set shows locked in like each year. Um, like for example, Anti-Famous, he's been doing a summer buzz event each summer, and I've been on like the last three, and so he usually hollers at me when it's about that time to do the summer buzz event like each year. So I've a few promoters like that I'm intertwined with, that they always hit me up when they're getting their certain yearly shows going. They like to have me on the bill and stuff. So
That's
yeah,
super cool, bro.
yeah,
That just comes with networking too, and having
exactly.
homies that are gonna put you on.
Yeah, and from the promoters, like that's a whole different story. I had to really honestly like prove myself, as when it comes to the promoters, like they want to see how many people you can bring outside of like your stage presence, outside of, if like the promoters are artists themselves. Sure, they care about the music to a certain extent, but when it comes to promoting these shows, like they want to see how many heads you can get up in there. And I really had to prove myself to say like, yeah, like if you book me, like I can get people to come out, because a lot of people, they mess with me, they know my music, and they support me, and they'll come out to the show. So I really had to, I didn't just get put in those places just because I'm Van, or on a handshake that that I performed for him once. Like I really had to prove myself, outside of just having good quality music, and being able to rock a house, to get the butts in the seats, and you know what I mean, and get these heads through the door, and show the promoters like, yeah, I could bring people out. And it just, with the other artists, they're like, oh, okay, well, a whole lot of people came out, and they might have came to see Van, but they're gonna stick around and say true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I said, it just all comes back to the networking. Like I'm trying to make your fans my fans, and you're trying to make my fans your fans. Let's get it. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, for real.
Point blank period. That's what it is.
That's what's tight too, especially with the. I've met a bunch of dope artists performing too, like aside from the headliners or anybody else. Like the best music and the coolest artists that I've met have been from just networking. Like
Yeah.
for me too, like you said, I think I've performed. I've performed and been to my own concerts way more than I've ever been to a concert. Just cause
Yeah.
passion for it and the love of it.
Yeah. It's a wonderful feeling, man. Like performing. Yeah, performing is like my favorite thing to do. Like performing and then shooting and editing music videos. I like more even just like than making the actual music. And obviously I'm a rapper, so like don't get me wrong, like that's my passion. And I'm gonna stick by it, but in the sense of like my my craft, I love trying to figure out, these camera angles and these shots and the lighting, and then okay, like where am I gonna put this transition, and that kind of thing when it comes to the music video editing. And then just performing is just, there's nothing better than just being able to showcase your talents live to just a bunch of people, and especially when a bunch of those people are literally singing your lyrics with you. That feeling right there,
Yeah, that
just
feeling
yeah,
is it's
that is,
amazing.
it's like I can't describe it like internally, but yeah, the last show, the Summer Buzz that I was just talking about, yeah, there's people in the crowd wearing my merch and just singing my shit like before I can even get a chance to sing it, just word for word with
That's
me, and that's
awesome.
and that's even with the fast parts too. And yeah, like I kind of, like in the footage, like I kind of just paused for a second, was like y'all really know my words, like in my head. And I just that just brought me so much closer to the people, just like knowing that none of this hard work is just, it's going unseen, or I guess in this case unheard. But just 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 knowing that I'm not wasting my time, and like people are really messing with me now, like it's such a beautiful feeling to just be like, yo, what's up? And they're like, I know you. Like it's so sick.
Yeah, definitely powerful to know that your hard work and dedication is going somewhere and people are
Right.
noticing it.
Exactly.
That's been a big thing for me too. Is a lot of people noticing what's
Hmm.
the movement now, and like you're saying, it isn't just us and or me or you or any of us. It's all of us as a whole,
Yeah.
and definitely elevating Colorado is the way that we have to go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what a lot of other states too. They've been on the grind for a long time, but that's like been the difference is just what you were saying about getting together and just paying for your homie studio time, getting them in the room,
Yeah.
the other people and shit. Like that's so powerful. We all need something to do,
Yeah.
and it's awesome when you have support like that and a support system. Because not everybody has to be just a rapper or anything either. Like yeah, your homie raps, and you might be better at a camera if you pick up a camera or even being able to edit the videos or help with anything. There's so many different parts and hats that everybody could wear in this shit to keep it all going.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, man, that's just how I feel about everything, bro. Just I love performing. I love making music videos. I'm trying to expand the label, sign some acts, and really just keep this thing going. Cause I mean, Colorado's already overlooked, but the ones even in Colorado land, like we're here in Pueblo, and like, can I cuss on here or no?
Yeah.
Okay, like you know firsthand, bro. Like Pueblo gets shitted on, like in every aspect. Like they
Yeah.
say we got the highest crime, and the house foundations are shit, and none but crackheads rolling around, and
Yeah.
like we get shitted on. Like we don't have, like, to the untrained eye or people who don't know what's going on, like they just think it's just shit out here. And to a certain degree, it is. Like this isn't the best city to be living in. Like I'll say that firsthand. But to see artists like you and Q Swagger and Freak and Big Perp and all these people who are out here trying to make the best of it, like it really it gives people like me hope, in the sense of like you gotta, you're not kind of just throwing in the towel. Like everyone's trying to make it and really put us on the map, because we're getting so overlooked. Or when Pueblo's talked about, like it just gets completely shitted on, like always. I haven't heard, like, for the most part, like anything good about Pueblo, except for like maybe like the fair or like the green chili. Like people are like, yeah, I fuck with their green chili, but like
Yeah.
in the sense of like, you want to live in Denver or you want to live in Pueblo, and people are like, where's Pueblo or fuck Pueblo. Those
Yeah.
are like the two avenues, and that's from like personal experience, from like with my own like immediate family when they're like, I'm moving like from California, and I'm like, they're like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to Colorado, and they're like, you going to Colorado Springs? And I'm like, nah. Like, oh, you going to Denver? I'm like, nah. Like, I'm going to go Pueblo. And they're like, what the fuck is Pueblo? They didn't say where, they said what. And I'm just like,
No,
I don't
yeah,
know. We're gonna find out, but yeah, like yeah, we
for
just
real.
get such a bad name,
It's also
but
Pueblo that
yeah,
puts Pueblo down sometimes. Like there's so much more that we could have here, but we need more. We need more programs for the kids, for the youth, for adults, for everybody. And then also with all the shit that's going on here, like it's not nearly as bad as anywhere else. Everywhere else has the same shit going on,
yeah.
if not worse
Right. Just
or
on even on
better.
just on like a bigger scale, like
Yeah,
whether it's positive or negative,
yeah.
like it's just on a bigger scale.
Like Denver, definitely like same shit. They have the same shit going on,
Hmm.
and if not better, not worse. It's in different areas. You know what I mean? Like it all depends on the area and where people are at and shit to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And I feel like I have a good grasp out here. Knock on wood, nobody's ever fucked with me like that on like a negative connotation. But I just I'm not I'm not out there like that in the sense of, where I can get involved or with any of those kind of negative situations or whatnot. Like people meet me and they're like like I'm trying to better people's day as opposed to just being like, oh, is he gonna rob me or whatever? Like
yeah,
I'm out here cracking jokes and just putting out good music and just letting people know, like, you know, it doesn't matter where you're at, like, you know, work on your passion and something can happen to it. Like we're living proof right here,
yeah,
bro.
for sure.
Yeah,
As is a lot of us out here.
yeah.
Tons of homies grinding.
Hmm.
A lot of us have been doing it for years too.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Guess do you have any questions for me?
When's your next show, bro? You got
I'm
anything popping? You got anything? I know you dropped the project and all that. I'm gonna go cop that. I'm gonna check it out and shit too. But yeah, man, like
yeah.
what do you have any shows popping?
Not
I'm trying to get on something down here. I'm not even gonna cap. I decided to do a lot of shows in the Springs, man. But I've only done a handful of shows down here, but I really want to do a show down here and just have people drive 10 minutes down the street to come see your boy because we have a packed house. So
yeah.
yeah, that's what my next step is I'm trying to do something down here right here in the city, bro.
Yeah. I don't have anything coming up right now. I was thinking of hopping on this one that Troy Good, Joe Low, and Out the Box were hosting. They're hosting down here at Classic Q's.
Oh,
It's
I literally just seen
the
that. You're talking
artist
about
Hex,
oh yeah.
HEXX
Yeah,
X.
Hex, yeah.
Yeah.
Um I just seen that literally the other day. I was talking to Daniel about that. Yeah, me and Daniel are good homies. Yeah, I was just talking to him about that and then he just what was it? I think like September 7th something's going on at Classic Q. Somebody's coming.
Oh yeah,
Lefty.
Lefty
There
Gunplay.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chops is he's the homie. I've been doing some videos for him. He brought out Lefty Gunplay with SS Silent. They're
Yeah.
gonna be showing out there with Lefty Gunplay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
show's gonna be
man.
fire too.
Yeah, so people come out, they come um and perform and they do their thing. So I'm definitely trying to hop on something right here for the city, bro, for
Yeah,
real.
I did a show last year. It actually did really good. We had like 160 people through the door throughout the
Damn.
night.
Hell
It
yeah.
was really good, bro. My first show was tight.
That was like Classic Cues or what?
No, we did it at Blowback Gallery downtown. So that's a spot. I think D-Man threw his first show there. It was Out the Box One.
Uh-huh.
He threw that show there, and then I like the venue. It's an art gallery, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
kind of cool. It's a little bit of a different setting. The way it's set up is a little different for like a hip hop show, but it's cool. It works out, and
Hell
then
yeah.
it's a pretty big room. You can fill it out, and I'm thinking about doing another one again soon. I might be hosting another show soon. I'm just trying to plan it all out. I decided to do the mountain mic check,
Right.
start showcasing artists like that instead of throwing another show right away. Or I
Yeah.
might do them together both ways, whatever. figure some shit out.
Yeah, if you're doing
Wanna
a
t-
show, bro, holla at your boy, man.
I will for
I
sure.
got you,
I
bro. It's
have
all
to,
love, man. 100%, man. I'm there.
sir.
I got you.
And yeah, we're gonna have to work on some shit soon too. We were talking
Absolutely.
about working on some music.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
I didn't know that you would actually produce
Yeah.
yourself too, so
Yeah.
it'll be fire. We
I
could
do
even
all
just
that kind of stuff, and especially when it comes to the features, that's a good point. Is my return is quick. It's never no more than 2 days. Like
yeah,
if
you have
somebody
your own studio.
if somebody sends me a track, you'll get it back like no more than 2 days, if not same day, depending on what day you send it to me, and that's that's really what I stand by. And
That's
a lot
hard,
of people,
bro.
yeah, a lot of people.
That's not that easy to do either.
It's not, but I know I don't want to be the one to have to keep any of these artists waiting on anything, especially on anything dealing with me.
Yeah.
You asked me to be on your song for a reason. I shouldn't take 3-4 months to get it back to you, especially a 16. There's no way you should be waiting for a 16 for 3 months or even 2 months
or even a year.
Yeah, hell no, not a year. I'm honest, like even maybe like a month, depending on what's going on or how big that artist is or whatnot. But I really took it upon myself, especially when I started getting out there and people were like, "Oh, you sound different," or "I need like a really fast rapper." Like then they holler at me like, "Okay, well I want them to keep coming back," and especially asking me for features. So I'm like, I'm not gonna make them wait 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. You'll get that shit back no more than 2 days, if not the same day. And people are like I get it back, and it's flames. And I haven't had anyone been like, yeah, like nah, your verse is whack or whatnot. All the ones that I've done, like it's they've put out, it's on somebody's project or it was somebody's single, 100%. And I take pride in doing that, and not wasting these other artists' time that took the time to hit me up and be like, yeah, Van, like I fuck with your music. Like I think you would sound dope on this track with me. Like, what do you think? Absolutely. What are we talking about? Okay. Give me 2 hours, you got it. Yeah. Send it to my email, and then I send them back the track with like my vocals on it, like how I rapped on it, and then I send them an acapella. So if they want to do their own mixing or their chopping and their splicing, they have the raw vocals in order to do that. That's how I send it back to them, is 2 different files with the stems, and then a file with just like how I rapped it on the verse, so they can hear like how I'm coming on it. So
yeah, that's fire. That's how collaborating should be done too.
Absolutely.
And it's huge, especially when the other artist has access to their own studio.
Yeah, and nobody wants to wait. I hope you really didn't wait a year for a verse, but if that's the case, like to be like, you get a verse a year later, either one, they done already forgot about that song, or they got somebody else on there, or like for the person who had to wait a year for like their verse, they're like, I'm not fucking with old dude because he took a year for a verse, and especially if the verse wasn't even that good and he waited a year for it. Oh hell no, bro.
Yeah,
hell no,
some crazy
bro.
shit.
Nah, I'm not with that. 2 days, and my email and my phone number is out there. If you don't have my personal Facebook or my artist Facebook, my www.vandemand.com, VANNDEMAND.com. Click that little contact section, and you could hit me up directly, and it has links to all my social media and all that good stuff. So it's not like I'm unreachable. And once we get something set in stone, your verse will be returned within 2 days, 100% guaranteed.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the longest for me, I guess I've had a lot of projects that have never seen the light of day, but usually it was because one of us couldn't come to an agreement to actually like the song and shit. But I've worked on tons of music too.
Yeah.
Like you were saying too, also having tons of music on your hard drive.
Yeah.
It's all about just releasing it though, and getting it done.
Mm-hmm. And I like being in the studio, like at the same time, like as the artist, because it's so cool to just bounce ideas off of each other, as opposed to just like, I'll send you a track and then I'll send you a track and then like you put what you think is good and then send it back to me, and then I kind of have to be like yay or nay about it, but in the sense of like, let's do a track, and then we're building it from the ground up, and and we're rapping on it right then and there, in the same vicinity, in the same session. Like those are always my favorite, just doing that, because you really get to connect and put out or create the song to the degree of what both artists is looking to get out of it.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah,
creative too.
exactly.
It comes
Yeah,
out way funner. Like we were talking about with it being in the moment. It's way more in the moment that way, and it's more of you actually the consumer being able to hear the artist more than they would just listening to them,
yeah,
even
yeah,
even live. 'Cause
exactly.
that's when you know, and when it's done together and you do it right, it's fire. Just the feeling, and it's all in there, the vibe and everything.
Yeah, exactly. You got to feel the vibe.
Yeah,
You got to feel the vibe, and that's why I'm loving these studio sessions with this with the group I put on, because we get to bounce ideas off each other. And like, yeah, sometimes we be goofing off, and that's just what brothers do when they get together. But
yeah,
in the sense of like the creativity and how we're making the music, like they we're really being we're able to bounce those ideas off of each other. And it's cool to just be like, okay, where are we going with this? And Q says, oh, I'm gonna go this way, or Perp says, I'm gonna go this way. Okay. And we I like to help them, especially like with their like punchlines and stuff like that. Like I'm always like that, and they can rap. Like, don't get me wrong, they can rap their ass off and shit. But like sometimes, like they'll be like, hey, what do you think about this, man? Because they still write. And
yeah.
they're like, yeah, man, what do you think about this? And I'll look it over, and I'm like, okay, like this is cool. Like this is a good solid foundation. I'm always like, okay, how can you say this but in a more interesting way? And then that let them rack their brain, and they're bouncing ideas off of each other. And I'm like, okay, like you're close. Like maybe try this, or maybe say this. And they're like, what? Or whatever the case may be. So I like really it really hits home, especially for the songs when this debut project comes out. It's gonna be really something that means a lot to especially all three of us, because they didn't have the means to put out their own music, and they're two separate artists, mind you. They didn't come together as a group. They're two separate rappers, and I had the idea of bringing them together to make a duo, and it couldn't have been more doper.
That's fire.
It couldn't have been more doper, and especially how we all sound. Because I have that like raspy, like gritty voice, but then like Perp, like he's 6'7", and so he has a real deep voice. And then Q, like he's not the biggest dude, but like his voice is a little bit more higher pitched. So all of our voices complement each other, like when it comes to these records and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. You guys are gonna love it.
That's
You
fire.
guys are gonna love it. Hood certified. It's coming.
Oh
It's
yeah,
coming.
excited for that one. Ready for it to be dropping
Right.
soon.
Yeah, I'm shooting for like 14 tracks, and we did 9. So yeah, we're like right there. And we're gonna start shooting the music video for the first single off the debut, hopefully in like 2 to 3 weeks, give or take. It's kind of a time crunch, because I'm trying to have the video out and the project out, especially as soon as possible before the October 25th show, because like I said, I'm gonna debut them at at the show.
Yeah,
So I want people to get a chance to hear some of the music that we're gonna perform off their debut project. So yeah, it's a little bit of a time crunch, but I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Love it.
Sounds
Yeah, those are
very
my guys
attainable.
right there. Yeah, those are my guys right there. Level Up Entertainment. Let's get it. Y'all know what it is.
Let's go. And you have anything else for me, bro?
um, Not really, no. Appreciate you having me and all that good stuff, man. And yeah, like I really want to do some tracks together, bro. Like I really like this is like me talking as like a fan. Like I really enjoy like the music that you make, and all the countless videos that you make, man. You got so many videos, bro. But I fuck with all of them, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah,
For
man.
real.
Yeah, like
Appreciate
I
that.
really, like it's like I said in that number 4, man. I went and shouted you out, and you didn't know I was gonna shout you out. Nobody did.
No, for
So
real. It
that's
was
how
fire
that's
when
how
I
I'm
hear
letting
it.
you. Yeah, that's how I'm letting you know, especially since I'm here. Yeah, that shit was from the heart, bro. I didn't just put that shit in just because it sounded good. Like those people, the people, including yourself, that I put in that freestyle, like I really fuck with. So go check that out and go look and listen to all those names. And I have it subtitles. That's another thing that I like to do. Pueblo's freestyles is I put subtitles on the bottom, so you're not worried about what the video's doing. I want you to look and hear and read what the fuck I'm saying. So all those names at the tail end of that freestyle, I want y'all to go on YouTube or iTunes or whatever and look up every single one of those names and play their shit. They're fire. All of them are fire.
Oh yeah, appreciate that, bro. Much love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
It's all
fucking
love,
cool.
man. It's all love.
And yeah, that was about all I had for you. I appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Yeah,
It was
thank you,
fucking
man.
dope interview.
Hell yeah.
Nice chop up.
I'm gonna have to have
And,
when my group shit drop. We're gonna see if we can come on here.
yeah, we'll have to get all y'all on here.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool. Want to shout out your socials where everybody can find you at again?
Everything at VanN Demand. My Twitter, or X I should say, is I am VanN Demand, but just go on Google and literally search VANN space DEM, and I'm sure Google will instantly finish the rest for you, because that's what it be like. DEMAND, VanN Demand, on anything you listen to music, or even on Google or on YouTube or whatever, and I'm there. I'm the only one. There isn't any doubles or any fake accounts or anything like that. VanN Demand.
Oh yeah, bro.
Holla at your boy.
Cool. And then you can find me. My name is Tony True. It's TXNITRUE. You can find me on all platforms as well. Same thing. You can Google me. My stuff, you can find everybody's music under my stuff too. That's how I be working, like shouting everybody out as well. So like when you look up my videos, you usually find everybody else's videos that I've worked with too. That's one cool thing that's cool about when you work with me. But oh yeah, this was before the radio show, and check out VanN Demand, and he's gonna be dropping an open mic performance real soon.
Hey,
much love.
Much love. Hey. Pueblo stand up. Y'all know what it is.
719.
719, boy. Let's
Represent.
get it.
Let's go.